Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, dum, bum, bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, ba-dum, dum. I meant to review this Thursday. I didn't have time, but I am finally going to talk about one of my favorite films of all time, a classic, Home Alone. This is a Best Buy exclusive steelbook in 4K. Really great steelbook. I love this steelbook. I also have this collector set behind me. That includes this, which has Home Alone on Blu-ray. Not 4K, because this was released before the 4K was even out. Here's the DVD. Home Alone 2 on Blu-ray. Home Alone 2 on DVD. Home Alone 3 on DVD. That's right, 3. Home Alone 4. And Home Alone 5. 5 of them. There are 5 Home Alone movies. And we're going to be talking about all of them this December because I hate myself and I want to make videos about how much I hate myself. So let's get this started. You're going to sit back right there. Good. But Home Alone is a lightning in a bottle movie. I don't think it will ever be a movie that will ever be recreated. I know there's a remake coming to Disney Plus, but really think about it. It's not going to work out. It's not going to be a good movie, and it's going to feel like a Disney Channel original movie with a higher budget, which is how most of their Disney Plus movies have felt, and it's just no. But Home Alone is great. And what makes it great is you could nitpick this movie to death and you could say, hey, plot hole, there's too many conveniences. And like if that bothers you, fine, whatever, but it's not a problem because there is a difference where so there are two types of writers. There are the writers so they know they have to get from A to B. They have to get from the A point to the B point in the script that they're writing. And they'll write it, and then there's the writer who cares completely about how that process works and how that's communicated and what he does to do that. He really cares about how he writes it. He doesn't just care that he writes that thing happening. He cares about how he writes it. Then there's the writer who just doesn't care and he just writes a bunch of plot holes. So that's why there's the movies that have major plot holes, and then there's movies that have little plot holes. But every movie has plot holes, and this movie has huge ones. But these are not lazy plot holes. You can tell the writers put a lot of thought in how this was going to work out. They wrote very quippy, excellent dialogue for Kevin McAllister and other characters, and it all works really well. It's funny, it's quotable, it's completely memorable stuff. It's incredibly well done. It's such a well shot movie. It's a beautiful. It captures that Christmas atmosphere perfectly. The score by John Williams, aka the composer of Jaws, Star Wars, Jurassic Park. Need I go on? Such a brilliant composer composes this stuff. That was what I was doing at the intro. Bum bum ba da dun dun dun. And the performances here are also great. You have, of course, you have Macaulay Culkin, who's been lambasted, as like this great childhood icon, but I don't know if lambasted is the right word, but whatever. He's been held up as one of the great child actors, and he is fantastic in this movie. But then you also have Joe Pesci, who just came off of Goodfellas to be in Home Alone. Such a great contrasting type of performance there. A little odd, but still, it's fantastic. He's a great actor. He does a great job. And it's a really well done movie. It's just so good. And what makes the movie powerful is in other kids' movies, Kevin would be the annoying brat character. And at the beginning, he is. but you see him develop and change, and he acts like a realistic kid at his age would be. He's kind of helpless, but he's smart enough to figure out things, and then he also just gets worked up and takes time, and it takes him time to realize what he did wrong, because he's a kid and doesn't feel like he did anything wrong, and that's just how it is for most kids, and that's what makes the writing here really good, and that's what stops Kevin from being this annoying little brat. And this movie remains really funny. It's clever, and I've seen this movie 100 times, and I still quote it. I still laugh at it. Everything still works. I've seen this movie 200 times, and I didn't grow up in the 90s. I watched this now. So, a lot of people have accused this movie of being a 90s nostalgia movie, but no, it is just a great movie. And if you don't like this movie because of the trends inspired in other kids' movies and things like that, I get that. But at the same time, it's like trying to be mad at Die Hard for the tropes that it created in other action movies. It's a great movie. Die Hard's a great movie. It's not its fault that other movies ripped it off. And this is still a great movie. It's a 10 out of 10 movie. 10 out of 10. Like, I don't rate movies 10 out of 10 very often, but I can't feel complete within myself if I don't rate this movie a 10 out of 10, because like I said, I could nitpick the plot holes, but at the end of the day, this is still a well-written movie, even with the huge amount of plot holes and conveniences. This isn't like Home Alone 2, where they're being lazy, and I'll talk about that, but in Home Alone 2, it's not about how you get there. It's just about doing it the way the first movie does. That's the difference, is the convenience is there. Hurt that movie instead of advance it like this one. So, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for Home Alone 2 Lost in New York next Sunday. I'm going to review these every Sunday, so stay tuned for that.